But hand him over. Everybody back into the... Everybody back under the lockdown, please. Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and we're playing Exile Control Remastered here today. I played a version of this deck for the official Magic the Gathering Arena YouTube channel as my first venture into Aether Drift on that channel, and you guys really liked that video. And I'm excited to play it a bit more on my own channel with some changes that I've made over time. The deck has certainly moved more and more in a specific direction, and I'll get into why. But the star of the show that you need to know, and the mythic that you're crafting if you're into this deck, is Ketramos the New Dawn. This is a 3-mana 4/4 menace, lifelink indestructible god. In fact, you can hear all about exactly how the card is good and see some of its gameplay in the previous video, which you can find on the official Magic the Gathering Arena YouTube channel as Exile Control. But what you want to know about this is that we're trying to exile cards from boards and graveyards during our turn to draw a bunch of cards with this card. And I have addressed a lot of the things about the build to make it more interesting. That initial build was really into Rowan's Grim Search, but really the deck took a different direction when a chatter suggested, while I was tuning the deck, Wishclaw Talisman, which gave us a bunch of things to fetch. And we became less a deck about like really doing all kinds of various graveyard shenanigans and more a temporary lockdown deck. What are we going to do when this card rotates? It's still one of the best ways to deal with so many of those frustrating decks in the current best of one meta, from Esper Pixie to Boros Mice to Mono Red Aggro. Temporary lockdown solves so many things. And this new take on the deck tries to use temporary lockdown with Ketramos to draw a bunch of cards, turn on our life-linking indestructible creature so that they can't attack through it, and then get value off of other permanents on the board. As we look at the other permanents that we've included in the deck, we have Momentum Breaker, still one of my favorite cards from the set and most impactful. I guess calling it a favorite is a little disingenuous because I don't like it when this is played against me, and it seems to be doing a lot of work across a few strategies, but particularly in the bounce decks, which is like, there's only so much of that you can sit on the other side of. Am I right? Leave me a comment if you've ever been triggered by those Esper and Dimir bounce decks. But Momentum Breaker in this deck can gain you life by sacrificing, and if you have a Rest in Peace on the board, sacking it to gain life also draws you a card with Ketramos. But you can also put it inside the lockdowns, and as you replace the lockdowns and blink them, get more and more triggers off the breaker. We could go further into this with cards like Hopeless Nightmare, but this deck doesn't have a lot of room for that in the Wishclaw package, and instead what we're often doing is playing a talisman, activating it, finding a lockdown, playing the lockdown, putting the talisman back under the lockdown, but using the talisman, then a future talisman to go get Scroll Shift and blink the lockdown to do it again. If you hold priority while the lockdown is blinked and trigger is resolving, you can wish again with the Wishclaw before it goes back under the lockdown to go get another Scroll Shift to repeat the process. And after you've done this a few times, the opponent is probably overwhelmed with the resource denial that you put together. Seeing it in action will show you what I mean. The deck has a number of other silver bullets to solve various problems in the format. One of the ones I'm trying is the Paragon, which I found very good against Esper Pixie, but it is a nombo in your deck with Rest in Peace. So it's very important that you don't play Rest in Peace just because you want to play it, especially against Pixie. You want to go instead for a Soul Guide Lantern, which is a better combo with the Paragon. Keep in mind that if you have a lockdown and you blink or replay it, and you exile a card that has the finality-ish clause from the Paragon that would exile itself when it goes to a graveyard, and then return it to the battlefield by, say, blinking a lockdown, you can keep it from getting exiled. Basically, if you followed all that, little 5-head, you play a Lantern out from out of your graveyard, exile something of theirs, maybe draw a card with a Ketramos, then you lock down the Lantern, then you flicker or release the lockdown to bring back the Lantern, and now this Lantern can go back to the graveyard and be cast again with the Paragon. Look, that is a really weird, convoluted value engine, but I've done it. There are a number of other ways to fetch cards that really hose very specific decks in the format, particularly graveyard decks. Rest in Peace is an awesome card with Ketramos and often turns it on all by itself, and it's a frequent target with temporary lockdown because it turns your Fable passages and demolition fields into lands that draw cards, because with a Rest in Peace on the field, you are exiling these to draw. This is a complicated deck to play. I've run into enough people on ladder now that I realize I kind of created a monster here, because I've seen this deck in the wild, and I'm not saying it's exactly my version, but enough similarities to the deck that I put on the internet that I have a feeling that's where people at least found the list in some maybe not direct way, but indirect way, like through like an untapped.gg or something. And I've seen people play the decks, and this isn't true of everybody. It's probably not true of you. Yeah, you at home, you who puts the U in YouTube, you are brilliant. You have a huge brain. Let nobody tell you different. I'm not talking about you at all. I've seen so many people play this deck badly. I feel kind of bad about it. So I have this nice long intro trying to explain what goes on, and then we're going to dive in the games. I'm going to show you more about how it works. Here's the biggest thing. Don't just activate Talisman and give it to the opponent. Guys, like, there is a time and place for it, but that's got to be the rare one. That's got to be like the 1 out of 7 times or 1 out of 10 times that you just run out Talisman, activate it past the turn. What you want to do is on the turn you activate the Talisman, you cast the lockdown to get the Talisman under the lockdown. So if the lockdown is removed or blinked, you get the Talisman back on your side, and the opponent gets no tutors and you get tutors. The number of people that have run out their Wishclaw, used it immediately and handed it to me, and I'm like, okay, I know exactly what your deck's trying to do. I'm gonna go fetch the perfect card so that you're never gonna get to blink your lockdown. So I'm gonna be able to interact with it immediately. You handed me the game. Don't do that. But I've got a lot of tips for you that we'll get into in the gameplay. But first, I'm going to thank Dragon Shield. Use my link in the description and the promo code CGB5 to get a discount. And thank you, CoolStuffInc.com. Use the promo code CGB5 on their site. And I really appreciate the sponsorships. And now, because I'm not going to do an outro because I did a long intro and because I got to get ready for MagicCon, I'm going to say it right up front. You don't even have to stay till the end this time. That's how awesome you are. You're cool.
Incoming message from CGB HQ.
New playmat. Yes, we have the CovertGoBlue Dinosaur Rider playmat. You can get this sweet playmat and the sweet new token as well in a bundle at coolstuffinc.com/CGB. That's CovertGoBlue HQ. coolstuffinc.com/CGB. Get yours today for the easy price of $19.99. Bricks. Whoa. When there's 2 of them, it's so much. Looks like we get gobos. Nothing on turn 1. I could concede. That's how bad it is going second. Get swamp. Take my 3 just for going second. Lockdown. Always there when you call. Always on time. That's how I feel about temporary lockdown right now. Now the real question is, do they have turn 3 land and a 3-mana creature that's gonna put me in the grave anyway? No. Huge. Huge. Bam. Give it. Best card in the format, baby. When this rotates, I really might quit. See, they missed 1 land drop and it gave us a chance. Isn't that awesome? Welcome to Magic. Okay, exile you forever and ever, and also break your momentum. Beautiful. I am so ready to scroll shift. No! Another one? Another one? Really? Okay. Bricks. Let's do it. We are plugging along. Life total going up. Let's see what the opponent does here. They've almost got it to where they can make mana with this thing. We have scroll shift the lockdown, so we're waiting for them to drop this card. And then they make their token. Does it cost us anything on the attack? Like, if they hold this back to make mana, that's good for us, right? Because now we can deny them actually hurting us. Ooh, baby. Yes. Yes. Wrap it up. Give it all back. More life, please. Yeah, you didn't actually hit me, did you? I break your momentum again and again. No Ketramos needed yet, but we've got this Kaya. Let's make spirits. Let's just get something on the board. There's Krenko. There it is. We have to kill, which we have. Exile one thing you control, one thing opponent controls. Well, we can also get in there first. Why not increase our speed? Am I right? I bet they have another Krenko though.
Is the least you deserve.
Cease and desist could release the lockdown. Count on luck. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card. Okay. A little value piece. Is that worth blowing up? Huh. Maybe it is. I'll gain a little life here. Another lockdown. It's close to being able to desist. Blow this up, get back our stuff, but the opponent will get those goblins that we can't do anything about yet. Yeah, let's plus up. We'll give them one turn of this joyous counting on luck. Let's see how lucky they really are. Torch. No! Okay, they need something to sacrifice to it to kill the Kaya. Okay. Engineer, sure. The Soul Cauldron. Yikers. They pitch their cauldron.
This can't be how it ends.
I know. I felt the same way, Kaya. I felt the same way. Talisman. Talisman. We can hold that. Desist. Bricks on bricks. Please sacrifice. They do get this sweet exile trigger, and it is a goblin, so that's gonna come at us. Might as well get that max speed up. But hand him over. Everybody back into the... Everybody back under the lockdown, please. On the play. Wishclaw bricks. Pretty good. They'll get jobs done. Always interesting here. I usually just get black because I'll get so much white from the bricks if things go well that I don't feel like I ever need to fetch white unless it's my only white. Uh-huh. That's a land. Let's just plan on a future lockdown occurring, shall we? We can run out Talisman next turn. And if they don't shelter by Ghost Sid, we're good. And if they do, we're still working on Deadly Cover-Up. So the rabbits, immediately we have some targets here. Ketramos. Okay, what we've learned in the past is don't just run this out on turn 3. You often die. Instead, we'll play this Wishclaw Talisman and not use it, because if we use it here, I think the odds are something very bad will happen to us. The opponent will probably fetch like a Get Lost or something to keep the lockdown from working. Yeah, I mean, this is what we wanted, right? They just go for it. We go to 13. but they're about to lose the whole board. Take them all. Rabbits do not like cages. Okay, the Evangelist. When it dies, it makes a bat, but we're the Exile deck, so that won't be too hard to deal with. Let's drop Ketramos, and let's start getting paid. We immediately get an Exile and a draw. Whoa, Season of the Burrow. That exiled my commander. Okay. We drew another lockdown, of course, so we're fine. It's, wow. Dude, they got a 5-drop in their aggro deck. I wonder how often that comes up. They did give me back the Talisman, so we were pretty covered. Not gonna lie, we were pretty covered. What do we want to get? I guess we want another Ketramos, right? Yeah, let's get our card advantage machine back into our hand. Then lock down our opposition. We could also make them discard a card here and start our engines, or we can get a tap land out of the way. I'll do the tap land. If they want to attack me with the prairie, I'm still at 13. Yep, that's a card. That has offspring. They both have combined 4, but I can kill the 1/1. Yeah, let's do that instead of play the cover up, because we can momentum break this. Start your engines. Here comes our indestructible god, and we'll also have the Wish Claw on hand to go get something like a Rest in Peace and take over the game entirely. We got tutors and removals and the Sarah Paragon. Uh-oh. They're coming at me with the discard effects. Let's see if they have the 1-drop into 2-drop that gets people excited about this. Okay. I think we just wait. Patience. They want a Malcolm. Okay. They have the Monument. They have 1, 2, 3. They have a Sky Ray. Okay. If they're not going to play a land here, let's just get rid of the Malcolm. We have the Scroll Shift. But we could also try to set up a lockdown. Lockdown's really good. You gotta worry about like Tunnel Grinder hit me for way too much, right? Let's just pass. Another 2/2. We just gotta keep them from discarding. So we take the enablers, and they can keep their 1/1 payoffs. All right, Wishclaw online. There's this little cycle. Gonna try not to anoint these with Affliction if I don't have to. And they don't hit a land. They scoop it up. Can't cut back on lands too much. I mean, if you're going below 22, it's dangerous. Missing a land drop is still very punishing because the format is so fast that if somebody's casting and getting like 3 or 4 mana worth of value each turn, even if they're casting small things, they're still going to overpower you. Soul Guide, Lantern, Wishclaw Talisman, Bricks, Ketramos. Feels like this hand can do a lot. I'm looking forward to it. Are we a deck that needs to hate the graveyard? We're already deciding. I'm discarding the planes for sure, right? Because we have a Bricks. But should we play the Lantern? If we save it, it might work with Ketramos. If we just run it out. Also, discarding this might be the right move. What you got? Sewers, Surveil, pass. Bricks. Life go up. Bricks on board. The Pixie deck usually does struggle with Ketramos if they don't have Momentum Breaker, but that card is definitely picking up popularity, becoming a pretty big issue. Okay, there are a couple of tap lands have set them back, but we're not punishing them much. Our deck doesn't punish them much. So they're probably going to play Nightmare. Do they have Momentum Breaker? I think we just have to get the Wishclaw down. And I'm going to hold the Lantern because we might discard it. I think I'll discard the Demolition Field first, but you know how these decks do. Invasion of Amonkhet. Well, Soul Guide Lantern sure looks better now. Kaya does good too. May have this enter as a copy of a creature card in a graveyard. Huh. Huh. There's a Rest in Peace. A creature card in a graveyard. Do I keep Kaya? I don't think I do. Is that crazy? Now I want the Lantern. Okay, we hit the land, so we can lock down. Is that the right play? I think so. Getting a lockdown in circulation feels pretty good. Especially while all that they have out are these, and they can't interact with it. If they remove it, yeah, we get Nightmared, but we go get a Plains first. They don't get a bounce off the Fear, and we get a new Talisman. That's an Otter. There's the Momentum Breaker. I was afraid they'd have that. Man, do we just discard Ketramos? Is it actually going to do anything here? I'm going to discard these bricks. I'm not sure about that. Feels bad. But let's get some cards. Demolition Field? Yeah, let's have a Demolition Field on board. Now, if we sacrifice this now, this can attack and block, and we draw another card. Is that the right idea, though? Actually, I think it is. But we could hold it to shut down the talent. That might be even better than drawing a card. But if this is about to get momentum broken, it's going to feel so bad. It's a good question. You've got to assume that they're going to do something to it, right? Don't we just need to draw these cards? Okay, our own momentum breaker. This is a big test. Did they save a bounce effect or another momentum breaker? Never didn't have it. Jesus, they run Edict too? They're specifically upset with us. Now they can also turn this into a Ketramos. What a disaster. Well, we just have to top deck well and we'll be okay. We just need a removal or something. That's not it. That's not it at all. Just top deck well, he says. Look what happens. This is when the flood comes, isn't it? I've been here 100 times. Okay, well, at least we got them to use that. To hit absolutely nothing useful. And they probably can't use their deck the way I can use it. So the Ketramos probably won't draw many cards. And if they're using this now, they don't get back a "this town ain't big enough." It's just an Edict, which is kind of good against me, but not great. Come on, man. Come on. I guess I have to hold because we know about the Edict. Yeah, there's nothing like bricking the rest of the way when you're in need. It's it feels like such a Magic the Gathering experience. Bad luck compounding on more bad luck. So let's see. You just gotta endure and hope to get out of it. But it does feel like it's the moment where it feels like there is no skill. There's just suffering. Jesus. So bad. If I had saved the Lantern, I still wouldn't have been able to save the Ketramos. They just happen to run so many Edicts. It's kind of insane. I run Edicts, but they've drawn a creature at each turn that has shut me down, made me unable to compete here. And we draw Scroll Shift. What's under here? Nightmare. Bricks. Wish Claw is under here. Now right now they're tapped out. We could resolve this and this. The problem with that, like, we can momentum break them. What I want to do is flicker the lockdown and then flicker it again. That's what I want to do. Oh, there's another one. Triggers. And now I have 2 momentum breakers under there. But I can just play this one and deal with it. And save this for next time. And it's a little siren. Ah, Nightmare on top. That's great. We love those. If I play this out, when do I draw? I guess I just Wish Claw, right? So again, we have to have stops. This is going to be funky. Whee! So this resolves. This resolves. We go to 2. This, when this enters, each opponent discards or sacrifices. Nothing to discard, nothing to sacrifice. Nothing to discard, nothing to sacrifice. This is about to resolve, so we want to respond to that by activating our Wishclaw Talisman. And let's get the Paragon. Well, man, they've got that stupid edict. But they're gonna have to discard it here, right? Because we have 2 momentum breakers. I think that makes sense. They're gonna be hitting me with a nightmare, but that's whatever. All right, give it. Because we have Fable Passage down there that we can use. Resolve that, get all this. Resolve bricks, get planes and life, crucially. Resolve these, make them discard twice. Play this. Yeah. All right, we can lantern them, but I think it's... Oh wait, we already played a land, so I can't do any of this? Okay. I forgot I did a land drop, but we're in good shape. They can't kill me with that nightmare. It can only make me discard a planes. And then it all falls apart. Look how we cut both players down to nothing and left ourselves with the last piece standing. That's how you want to do it. Now we only get to play one of these. We definitely want to be able to gain the life. Man, there's so many good cards, though. But we don't want to die. We really need to be able to gain the life from this. We could play the Wishclaw. What does the Wishclaw get us? That can get us completely out of this. Man, it's so tempting, too, to play Ketramos and just hope we untap, right? But what if they top deck a way to bounce it? Then we lose. All right, we'll play the bricks. One last planes. Go to 4. Then we craft. And let's take the lantern. And let's flip. Make some bodies. And they're at 32. We've got a lot of work to be done. Speed go up. All you now, opponent, and they don't sack the nightmare. Do they draw a bouncer? Oh my god, they did. So classic. Is that not the most classic Magic the Gathering right there? Oh my god. All right, we have to gain life again. How do we do it this time? Again, they might just draw the nuts. We have to be able to beat that. We drew a frickin' swamp. Why do we have to draw a swamp? So how do we gain life with these cards? I think it has to be the demolition field. We can't even attack. It's too risky. One more swamp. My goodness. Why did it have to be another swamp off the top? Still not sacking it. Because they know they could just draw this town ain't big enough and win. You've got to be kidding me! Oh! I can't believe that. I am broken. Oh my god. This game is rigged. I'm so broken from that game. I need something to go well. We're on the draw with this. Let's see how aggressive our opponent is. Do they just run me over? Let's find out. Novice Inspector. This could be the kind of deck that gets a lockdown, but it could also be the kind of deck that goes Convoke wide and kills me before I get to cast lockdown. Hazoret. All right, still dies to lockdown. We like that. Also dies to Anoint with Affliction, but yeah, let's just plan the lockdown. We're gonna have to draw a land though. And when you thin the deck, you always top deck a land. That's how it works. Hazoret, Godseeker, 5/3, indestructible haste, 2 or less, can't be blocked, can't attack unless max speed. Oh. Well, there you go. I went second. I think that means I don't get to win. Nice top deck though. I guess we go for it. Still a 4/4. But there's a lot of things we could draw. We're top decking. Yes, we are. Plus is Surveil 2 and exile a card from a graveyard. Do you think they'll attack this? We just need to make sure we draw a land. We could also run out Wishclaw. And that could get us what? Scroll Shift? We're gonna have tokens. We could use an Anoint with Affliction if we run this out. Man, it is tough with the Kaya, but I think the Kaya might draw their attack. But if it doesn't, like imagine they go this and they Recruiter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 14 damage to a Recruiter. So we're not dead to it. I think that means we go for this. And we have to surveil an untapped land to the top. We have to surveil an untapped land to the top. Do I have to? Okay. I'm gonna go 0 for 3 on this untapped land, aren't I? There's a Recruiter. Okay, we gotta have it. Oh, good. Well, they didn't kill me. Oh, they didn't kill me, but they also didn't set me to 3.
This can't be how it ends.
Hey! Easy. Never didn't have it. Give me those Recruiters, baby. Could also be the Knight Errant, which is kind of it's their card advantage engine. It's the hard thing for me to deal with compared to like Lockdown and a bunch of other things. I think it's the Recruiter though. And look, we got another one. Feels good. So anything else I have to worry about? 2 Sheltered by Ghosts is something. 2/1 that has survival to attack the graveyard. That's some tech. And then they have these. So we have to cut their creatures back down. They got the Glide Car and a case. But yeah, that was good. That was really good. Here's a bot. We need 1 more mana to go Wishclaw into Scroll Shift. Rest in peace. Yep, just get exiled. Always try to make life difficult for them. Every creature is a problem. the bot. Into demolition. Must be nice. Into hit me with a glide car. See, this deck is a freaking problem. There's the untapped land. Don't let him have it. Stone Brain. We're gonna get those recruiters out of here. Oh my gosh, that's so much exile. Beautiful. We could hold up the affliction. Let's just play the brain. Let him even know what we're about to do to him. I choose Knight Errant of Eos. I'm gonna have to do it the hard way. What are we gonna do? I guess we're gonna, one of these has to get like a lockdown or a way to flicker the lockdown. The other can get a Ketramos. And we have the rest in peace. Okay. You gotta protect these. They're babies. Could have played Ketramos first and drawn a card there. Might be a big oopsie. But here we go. I don't think... I guess they have a Shelter by Ghost, right? That's their hope. We have a Murex. Momentum Breaker can hit their hand. Rest in peace. Trigger, draw. Oh, nice. That is what you're looking for. Check out the Demolition Field Rest in Peace triggers. Woo. Why not? I'll even gain the life. Draw another card. Alright, okay, yep, you drew lands. I mean, that's what happens when your deck has all its good cards taken out of it. You love to see it. Beautiful. On the play with cards. Cards that do lots of things. You love to see it. Say hello to my little lantern. Hopefully they're a graveyard deck. Green? Oh! Is that like mill? I'm just gonna go right after it, even though, like, I don't want to have to exile my Soul Guide Lantern to keep them from using it. It seems like a graveyard deck to me. Uh-huh, another one. Afterburner Expert. Beautiful. It's a beautiful world we live in. I mean, do we just bring this out? Wish for rest in peace. Draw. Lockdown, let's go. Roots are here, but lockdown is ready. How did they do that? That's insane. What? How did they just do that? Okay. Well, bricks. Exile draw. Okay. That can strip the afterburner experts. Can they trigger it now? Insight? Okay. Makes plant. It begins, right? Nope, that's not a creature. They needed the land. Okay, double roots. Yikers. Double roots. Do we Stone Brain the expert? Do we Wishclaw for rest in peace? We don't have an easy way to get Wishclaw back. Or do we just lock these down? I think I lock them down. That sounds fun. Not only does it draw, it turns Ketramos on. Ooh. Run out the brain. Swing for 4. Dude, body and graveyard decks feels pretty good. Uh-oh, that brings out the little Vengiviny. Afterburner expert, complete with haste. Messed up. But still has to deal with Ketramos. Okay. Well. I exile this. Draw a card. It's a lockdown. Do I sack it, exile it, draw, and then exile this, and then draw again? I think we just hold it on them. Remember, once we sack it now, it gets exiled to the Paragon. Thrill Seeker. Okay. So they're probably going to throw that at the Paragon. Okay. Down goes a Paragon. There's a Soul Cauldron. Okay. Bricks. Triggers. How about if none of these were in your deck, though? Only 2? Okay, they got loots and roots. A lot of stuff like that. Oh, yeah, we got one from hand. That's what's up. That's a draw. Triggers. They already used this exhaust ability. Keep hitting them with that lifelink. And I'm ready to exile their graveyard if they try more shenanigans. They don't have the blue for the loot, right? They're just going dredging. Okay, so they got back the Soul Cauldron. You can sack this, get it back. I guess we hold until the Soul Cauldron targets something. I'm just wondering if we also have to worry about this getting used, this getting played. What else is down there? I just need one more turn for rest in peace, so just make sure they don't combo me. They can have all the other stuff. Like, this is fine. Mm-hmm. And just doing a +1/+1 counter. Lockdown will have its way with them. And we can save the lantern for coming in and out of the lockdown if we want to. Maybe I don't even need the rest in peace. But man, does it seem like a good one. It does seem like that locks them out completely, doesn't it? But I guess we also just want to deal with the one creature that doesn't get locked down here. Now, if we flicker this, it comes back without that exile clause, which is what we're going for. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Okay, we get a look at some of what they get to throw in their graveyard. Cards, 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 cards. More cards. Ooh, cut down. Hello. They go to 6. Discard 2. I think these can go. 10 cards under this lockdown. Can they do anything about it? And if they do, I get back a Soul Guide Lantern. That's pretty good. Decimated.